if we're staying, obviously how this pod works, what we try to do is give you some recommendations where to stay, and we want to do a par, birdie, and eagle golf course for you. If we're staying in the Pinehurst area, where are we hanging out around?
Well, I guess there's two ways of answering it. If you're looking to play the Pinehurst Resort courses, you got to stay on property. Typically in peak season always ended on Thursday before Memorial Day. This year they extended it to June 30th. And for 2024, it's being extended to, call it July 20th or 23rd, right before U.S. Kids Championship comes in. So any Thursday, Friday, or Saturday night during peak season typically requires a 3-night stay to play, to stay at the resort and play any of the courses. So obviously, if you want to play them, that's the best way to go. Otherwise, for all courses except number 2, number 4 in the Cradle, they'll open up the tee sheet 5 days prior. Although I'm hearing mixed things that may be that's changed down to 24 hours for all of them at times. But number 2, number 4 in the Cradle are 24 hours prior to day of play for non-resort guests. And I just say good luck. It's not going to happen. That's for anytime you're in a situation where it's 5 days in advance or 24 hours in advance. That's ideal for two guys driving through and they just they're going to come through and they want to see if they can play. Not for a group of 4 guys or 8 guys or 12 guys looking to make that a part of their trip. That's just my opinion. If you're not willing to stay at the resort, then look at playing at the different areas. So the second alternative is staying at the likes of Pine Needles Lodge, Mid Pines Inn, or we work with a company that we have access to some great vacation homes and condos, which I sell far more than anything, to be honest with you.
So, Sean, is it just 2, 4 in the Cradle that require reservation on property?
All courses.
So that's changed, right? Because it used to be
always been the case. But so what I'm saying is, for all other courses, you can book 5 days prior. So that's the exception. But it's just so difficult. People would think number 3 is easy to get on, but there's 3 classic courses there, number 1, number 3, number 5. Number 3 is by far the most popular. So you have to consider that Pinehurst works around members, which they have a lot of. So when they open it up 5 days prior or 24 hours prior for number 2, number 4, and for the Cradle, they've given their members the chances to play. And obviously they have resort guest allotted tee times outside of that, but it's difficult to get tee times. That 5 days is not an easy to get out.
No, not for a trip like that. Sorry, I did have to jump in here. I haven't said much because I know this is your location, boys. But yeah, you don't want to be messing around with a trip like this 5 days out. No way. Don't do it. Don't let somebody swindle you unless you can literally drive there. If you can drive into Pinehurst, it's like 2 hours. Okay, I can see how you could risk that. Not if you're flying. No way.
And the one thing to caution that I know is very much frowned upon by Pinehurst Resort is if guys ever rent a home from a member and they say they can get you on without playing with you, they can get your group on number 2, for example. It's a bad scenario because part of the agreement that members have, or the member agreement with the resort, is the big thing that Pinehurst says is they don't like competing with themselves, and they see that as competition with themselves. So if Tucker finds a guy that has an 8-bedroom home and he can get Tucker plus 7 guys on number 2, I'd be leery of it, because if Pinehurst ever found out, they'll just cancel the tee times.
Unless he's there, right?
Unless he's playing in the group, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, okay. So that's just one thing that I've had people tell me that, and I'm like, guys, just don't even go down that road. You don't want to, because you could just lose your tee times. And so it's just not worth it. One thing that I do often, and I do this, well, maybe I shouldn't be telling Ian some of my secrets, but one thing I do with Pinehurst, so I'll tell it with Pinehurst, is I'll do what I call a ghost stay. So if somebody wants to get on number 4 or number 2, and this is more in off-peak times, because peak, they're even Sunday to Wednesday night stays, though I think they're requiring a 2-night minimum for number 2 now, which wouldn't surprise me. But what I'll do is, if you got a group of 8 guys and they have a home, or I have a home for them, and they are coming in on a Tuesday night or a Wednesday night, and they're staying 4 nights, for example, do a 1-night stay at the resort, pay for the package, don't stay there, and you're guaranteed to get your tee time on the course that you want. So I do that quite often, actually, to be honest with you.